Good evening. Welcome back to Mary's Tea Time Talk Show. I'm glad to have you with me today. And today I am drinking a lemon tea. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for having tea with me. I hope you have your tea with you today. Today is a lemon tea. And I'm using one hand to hold on to my ring light because it's broken. I'll take a sip. My name is Mary Figures, and I do Tea Time Talk from Mountain Movers Ministry just to keep you inspired, keep you enlightened, and to help you to move forward in whatever God has for you to do. Uh, if you read my last post, it says, sometimes you just gotta cry. And I actually got this post from a friend of mine because she had a post the other day and she said, "Sometime I cry." And then I say, "Sometime I cry too." And I say, all the time when you get on it, most of the time we get on here, we're always talking about the happy times and the good times. But sometimes we need to just be real and tell you, yeah, we cry too. And actually, this should be trending because we all have times when we had to cry. All have times when we cry. You know, we have so much that's buried on the inside of us that sometimes we're afraid to let it out and cry. And it's healthy. It's healthy just to sit a day or whatever and just cry and cry. And a lot of times you don't even know why you're crying. But we have so many things buried in us and things we haven't addressed. And we have to know if we don't address the things that's inside us, it can cause a whole lot of other things as far as mental illness, as far as depression. And that's how things start. And it's okay if you sit in bed and cry for a day. It's okay. But if you're crying longer than a day, that's the time you have to reach out and ask for help. You can talk to one of your therapists, and you have different phone calls you can call to give help that's free for mental things that might be going on in your mind at the time. And you can also call a spiritual advisor, or like me, a spiritual coach or a spiritual counselor. And you can call one of us and just talk to us, because a lot of times you need to talk to somebody and you need a safe space where you can talk. And a lot of times it might not be a friend or a cousin, that you want to share some private information with. You might need to talk to someone else. But whatever the reason is, if it lasts more than a day, like I said, you need to reach out and talk to someone else. Because in the Bible, they speak about weeping. Weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And although some people look like they're having a perfect life and they look like everything's perfect, nobody is having that life. Nobody's going through a perfect life. Nothing is perfect in life. We all have to cry sometime. That's just the reality of life. And when I cry, oh my goodness, I cry for everything and everybody. I mean, I could be looking at the news and cry because I lost a child, so I'm sensitive when someone loses someone. I'm real sensitive when somebody loses a child. And I'll cry. And I just cry for the world, because all the things the world going through and all the things that people doing, it's not making sense. The killing, the stealing, and all that stuff that's going on, it's not actually making sense in this world. And I'll cry for family, I'll cry for anybody. And I also cry for myself. It's not just for everybody and anybody, but it's also for myself. So if you want to cry and you need to cry, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay. And crying is a part of the grieving process. And we're going through so much right now. A lot of people are grieving so many things in this world, so it's okay to cry. It's okay. A lot of times you grew up and, your parents told you, you're a big girl. I know we were told that. We weren't allowed to cry a lot of times. You couldn't cry about everything. Or they'll say you're crying too much. But it's okay to cry. And it's okay for men to cry and boys to cry. It's okay for us to cry. And like I say, sometimes you might not even know what you crying about. But you know, you need a good cry. And I'm telling you what crying do. Crying it cleans out the spirit. I mean, after I cry, and the next day when I finish crying, I feel better. It's a release. It's a release. Like the cloud release rain. We release tears. It's a release, and it makes you feel better. Also, crying give you a clearer vision. Sometimes you cloudy about your vision of what to do next and the next step to make, but sometimes after you cry, it clears your vision. So crying has its purposes. You know, you're not crying in vain. It's not in vain that you're crying. So it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. You know, I talked to a relative the other day. She said, I lost a friend. I'm crying. That's fine. And I'm glad you shared that with me. And I talked to another friend, and like I said online, she said, sometimes I cry. And I'm like, it's okay. So do I. You know, I get on here and I have my tea and I smile, but sometimes I have to cry. And I want to thank you for having tea with me and let you know it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to grieve. But don't let it turn into depression. If you need to, you know, like I said, reach out. You can reach out to me. You can DM me on Mountain Movers Ministry or my Facebook page, and I'll get back in touch with you. Or you can reach out to somebody that you trust at your church, or you can reach out to a therapist, or like I said, the different states have different numbers where you can reach out and talk to someone. And don't quote me, but I think one of them is 611. And I want to thank you for having tea with me. And remember, it's okay to cry. It's okay. And we all do it. None of us are perfect. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how poor you are. I don't care if you're black, white, green, purple. I don't care. We all cry. We all do it. And it's okay. I want to thank you for having tea with me. And I'll have another sip. And remember, you can move that mountain, but you got to believe. And this is not the end of your journey. This is just a stepping stone. And it's going to be okay. So remember, if you need me, you can email me at figuresmary95@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a divine evening. Bye.